UFC 314 just took place, Volkanovski versus Lopez, and I'm going to be doing my breakdown and review of the card as it happened. We're going to start with the early prelim and end with the main event, and we're starting with the opener of Nora Cornell versus Haley Cowan. Now, Nora Cornell, she's a stand-up fighter from what I understand, and Cowan is more of like a wrestler, jiu-jitsu player. Cowan had a lot of success in the beginning, keeping Cornell down. Advance her position. Cornell doing well from being caught in a submission, and even throwing like a couple submissions from the bottom as she was getting taken down. But second round, Cornell, she came in, strikes, landed some big shots, hurt Cowan, and then Cowan attempted to take her down. She got reversed, gave up her back, and then after a brief hand fight, Nora Cornell able to lock in the choke and submit her with a rear naked choke, and Cowan had to tap. So great win for Nora Cornell. Looking forward to see what she does in the future. Marco Tulio versus Tresean Gore. Now, this was a really fun fight, even if it was pretty short. Tresean Gore, super game. Marco Tulio, also very game. Those guys came in swinging. They wanted to fight. They wanted to win. And so they both came in swinging heat. Tulio landing his jabs, Gore coming in, throwing a lot of like big power shots. They both caught each other in the first round. I think Gore caught Tulio first and like hurt him. And then after that, towards the end of the round is when Tulio came back, hurt Gore for a little bit, and then landed some damage at the end as well. Second round, Tulio really starts pouring it in. He's landing his shots at will. He's staying patient. He's not getting sloppy. And then kicks some punches to the head and eventually puts down Tresean Gore, and his corner had to throw in the towel, I believe. So great win by Marco Tulio. Sumudaerji versus Mitch Raposo. Kind of a boring fight, in my opinion. Raposo was really focused on getting the wrestling game down, and then using his range. Implementing his wrestling game and holding down Sumudaerji. Sumudaerji using his range, landing shots, keeping Raposo at a distance. Close fight. It was a split decision. Sumudaerji taking the win by split decision. Mitch Raposo wasn't too happy, but it is what it is. Olekchaychik versus Dumas. Super short fight. Very surprised. Olekchaychik just stalked Dumas around the cage, landing the occasional shot. Dumas also tried to make things happen, being a little bit unorthodox, trying to land some bigger shots. But then Olekchaychik just stayed composed. He caught Dumas with like the forehead and hurt him, just wobbled him really bad, and then followed him to the ground, started to land some shots, some elbows, and then ref had to step in and stop it. So Julian Erosa versus Darren Elkins. Elkins just needs to retire. He's too old. Julian Erosa just had power, landing his shots at will, taking him down. It was kind of a brutal. It was just a beat down. It was just an old man getting beat up. So great win for Erosa though. So Chase Hooper, Jim Miller, Hooper, funny guy, great wrestling. But I mean, just had to use wrestling the entire match just because Miller's always a dog. Always willing to fight through it, and but great showing of his skills. I think he's still learning a lot. Chase Miller is a good guy to show off against, because he's he's a veteran. But great win for Chase Hooper. Looking forward to seeing more of what he can do. Next up, it was Jandiroba versus Xiaonan Yan. Yan is the queen of being saved by the bell. It happened in her fight with Zhang Wei Li as well. The first round during UFC 300, the first round, she absolutely got choked out and came to. Like if you rewatch that first round, she's out cold. Well, not out cold, but she's out, and then she wakes up and then realizes, oh, she's still in because she didn't tap. So, and that happened a lot too. She would be getting caught in arm bars or different things like that, and she would. Jandiroba would finally lock them in at the end of the round, and she would just keep holding on and not tapping until she got to the end of the round. So anyways, round one, pretty even on the feet. The second half of the first round, Jandiroba lands her takedowns, getting her jiu-jitsu started. Second round and onward is just Jandiroba just using her jiu-jitsu to control Yan a majority of the round, and threatening her with submissions. Jandiroba, very aggressive, very effective. I don't know if she beats Weili, but hey, someone has to try, I guess. So we'll see what happens with her going forward. Last card of the prelims, Dan Ige, Sean Woodson. Round one, Woodson doing a lot of feints, forcing Ige to rush forward and trying to land a counter on him while Ige rushed in. Second round, Woodson doing a lot more of the same. He was doing well, keeping his distance. Ige landing to the body, avoiding his counters. And kind of the same song and dance as the first round. Third round, Woodson really started picking up the pace, started getting a little bit greedier with his combination, starting to stay in longer in the pocket. And then he gets caught by an overhand right from Dan Ige. And Dan Ige is like trying to get him down, trying to hunt him down and land some shots. And the ref stops it, in my opinion, far too early. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with the stoppage, but he was hurt. And honestly, it's Dan Ige. You know, he wasn't. Sean Woodson was not in a great position to recover, but I still think you got to give him that time to recover. Yeah, but hey, props to Dan Ige. Great win. Hope we see Sean Woodson come back soon. Next up, we have the first fight of the main event, which is Nikita Krylov versus Dominic Reyes. Now, pretty interesting fight. Both guys very cautious, very measuring, landing kicks, jabs. Krylov rushing in to try to land some combos. During a rush, though, Reyes lands a perfect counter and puts him out cold. Hits him with one follow-up shot before the ref pushes him off him, and it was just perfect. I'm pretty sure it was a left hand as Krylov was rushing in, and I think Dominic Reyes is known for his pullback left hand counter. But yeah, great win for Dominic Reyes. Props to him. Always happy to see him get a win. Title run starts now. Bryce Mitchell versus Gene Silva. Now, a lot of fun stuff happening with the lead up to this fight. Bryce Mitchell being Bryce Mitchell, I guess. Fun fight while it lasted. Bryce came in, landing leg kicks, the occasional jab. Silva came forward and stalked. Bryce wasn't able to land as many takedowns in the first round, and Silva was doing well, keeping him at bay with the guillotine, the threat of the guillotine in the first round that Bryce was able to get out of. Second round, Silva started to work, started to stalk, started to land some big shots, knocked down Bryce early in the second round, and then started to work from there. So Bryce not able to get his takedowns and keep control. And then Silva catches Bryce in a choke that he can't roll out of, and Bryce has to tap. So props to Gene Silva. Really, really improved his ground game from, because I've been seeing a lot of comments, at least like online, that was going to be like the deciding factor, because Bryce Mitchell does have a very good ground game. It's very solid. And I saw a lot of people, I think it was this fight against Charles Jourdain, that had people guessing about whether or not his ground game was up to par. But I mean, he's working with, he's part of the Fighting Nerds. They've got Kyle Barajo and some other folks there that have got solid grappling, so I don't imagine why he wouldn't be improving on it. But hey, great win for him. Looking forward to seeing him move up. Just the Fighting Nerds are coming in as a force, you know. So looking forward to seeing what he has next. Yair Rodriguez versus Pitbull. Round one, Yair, very patient, picking his shots. Pitbull was able to land a takedown towards the end, but not really much longer than about a minute. Round two, Yair starts picking his shots. He's landing more consistently. He's getting his overhands, kicks to the legs and body. Round three is more the same. Pitbull is landing back until about the middle of the round, and then Yair catches him with a 1-2 and drops him hard. After that, fight goes to the decision, and that was it. Great win for Yair. So we'll see what's up next for him. Moving up, Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett. Now, this was a fight I was very excited about. I know Michael Chandler is on like a 5-fight losing streak, I think. But you also got to realize he's only lost to the top guys of the division. And the only person that's beaten those guys at the top of the division is Islam and Arman. Like, every other like new guy that's come up, let me think. Now, Sarukian, no, he's the only one that hasn't been stopped by those guys, but he did get stopped by someone else who got stopped by them. So Gamrot. So Gamrot came up short against Dariush. Fiziev has come up short against Gaethje twice. Arman, I think, is the only guy, and Islam are the only ones of like the new gen that have lost against the same people that that Chandler has lost to. Because Chandler, who's he lost to now? Oliveira twice, Poirier and Dustin, I think, right? I think that's right. Yeah, so he's still a dominant. Oh, and he beat Ferguson. That's right. So, and I don't think anybody has made it look as easy as Paddy has. Where I don't think at one point he was ever in any danger. I don't think he was ever seriously rocked at any point. And just, yeah, so round one, Pimblett he's having his success on the feet, jabs, kicks. He got taken down, but he was able to work himself back up to his feet, land some more shots. Round two, starts landing more shots. He's stopping Chandler's takedown initially, but Chandler is able to get him, grab a hold of him, land a few slams. Paddy reverses position, is able to land damage on Chandler after taking his back. Round three, it was a 5-round fight, by the way. Round three, Paddy lands huge with a knee. Rocks Chandler with follow-up. He starts chasing him around the cage. He's able to get him to the ground and then get control of him using ground and pound, controlling him with his legs, getting him into full mount with a body triangle. And just crushing him with elbows after that. And so great win for Paddy. Looking forward to seeing what he brings to the table next. Really looking forward to now. Last fight of the night, main event: Diego Lopez versus Alexander Volkanovski. Now this fight, round one, both fighters are patient. Volk taking the round by being aggressive with his wrestling and getting some ground and pound off. Round two, I would say more even, and even giving the round to Lopez just because he knocked down Volk with a pretty good shot at the end of the round. And then as the fight went on, Volk was just getting more comfortable. He fought pretty safe, I would say, this fight, backing up like a lot, using his jab to keep the distance. It ended up just kind of becoming like a routine through the night. So kind of a bump. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was very exciting. It's Volk, but it wasn't the Volk that we've seen before, I guess, you know? Like the guy who's going in there to dominate you, to take you down, to beat you up. Like, and I understand Lopez is very dangerous, don't get me wrong, but whatever. Anyways, power to Volk. Awesome win. Happy for him. Gutted because I really do like Lopez, and I do think Lopez has what it takes to be champ. I guess we'll see what happens. I think next for him is probably Evloev, but I don't really see Evloev having the ability to take it from Volk. So, yeah, that's just my take anyways. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed the fights and like the fights. And, I'll be seeing you in the future. I'm back temporarily, so hopefully see you next time. Have a good one.